Due to adult language and subject matter, viewer discretion is advised. Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
This man has been torturing me for over a year.
You are out of your mind.
They're back. Still married.
Did you throw a 10-inch rock at him?
I might have.
But separated.
How am I stalking you, sir?
Looking in the windows qualifies, right?
Bob and Dorothy return.
Is it that I need to put her in jail, Dr. Phil?
Yes, Bob, you do. Put me in jail.
And this time, they brought their daughter.
I think she's crazy.
I'm on impulse control medication, Dr. Phil, and they are working.
Not well.
The battle continues.
I didn't assault anybody because they danced around.
So they were ducking and weaving?
Yeah.
Well, people do that when you're attacking them. Let's do it. This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Go, Dr. Phil.
The last time Bob and Dorothy were here, viewers had a lot to say on drphil.com message boards, and they didn't hold back when it came to Dorothy. Here's what some of our viewers had to say. Upsy Daisy wrote, even if her husband cheated, it doesn't give her the right to act like a crazy loon. Where's her self-respect, her dignity, and her self-control? Where's it gone? Sandy B611 wrote, Dr. Phil, no one should ever be subject to any kind of abuse. I myself have been, and Bob needs to get out fast, get custody of his child, and I'm sure many women would love to spoil him. He deserves better. By the way, he's quite handsome, too. Jackie704 wrote, it's a wonder that Bob didn't move into the rental house with his daughter, Samantha. Dorothy is a person who definitely needs help from Dr. Phil. The whole family needs protection against Dorothy. So, what did Dorothy do to her husband, Bob, to elicit such strong reactions from viewers? Well, let me refresh your memory. You'll remember this.
I'm convinced that my husband has been cheating on me. I believe he's meeting women online and trying to hide it from me.
I am not cheating on my wife. Never would. Never could.
Supporting someone else.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
I decided to check our household computer's history and came up with various sites that were pertaining to cheating and hooking up with women.
My wife has been using the computer as a weapon of mass destruction against our relationship.
And you said he's a sex addict.
I think he is, just not with me. I found naked pictures of young women sending him emails. Your prostitutes are reality.
No, Dorothy, not.
Are you jumping to some conclusions here?
That's all she ever does is jump to conclusions. She is constantly monitoring my every move. She has purchased a cell phone wiretap.
You accused him of sending an email to a woman and you smashed the windows at Samantha's house. So your theory is the way to handle this is to throw candelabras through two, not one, but two 5-foot picture windows.
It needed to be replaced anyway.
No, Dr.
Bob and I have been in a sexless relationship for about 2.5 years. I found 2 empty Cialis bottles for erectile dysfunction. He wasn't using them with me.
I don't cheat, Dorothy.
Pornography will destroy
Dorothy,
your
I don't want to hear your crap. I really
Your
don't.
life is being destroyed by it.
By you.
Bob and I fight at least 3-4 times a week.
I could be capable of murder. I'm telling you, I could. You're like Helena Bobbitt. You won't have nothing to hold.
Kicked me in the face, fractured my nose, ripped my face up.
Break your nose?
She fractured it.
How do you know it was fractured?
Because there was blood coming out.
You didn't go to a doctor. There was no diagnosis.
My wife has destroyed ashtrays, mugs, several chairs, 2 laptop computers, my cell phone. She destroyed all the glass in my van with a hammer.
He knows how to trigger me. He plays me like a fiddle, sir.
You're smashing windows out of houses and cars and kicking and punching him. What the hell is that?
I do love my husband, and I hate him in the same breath.
There's no theory under which your behavior is justified. Do not do that. get help or get a divorce, but you don't do what you're doing. Well, I thought I was pretty clear. That was Dorothy then, so what's happened since? Well, here's Dorothy now.
You know, for all the times you've beaten me from August to this point, I'm pressing charges. I think you need to sit in jail and think about what family really means.
Well, even though Dorothy and Bob both agreed to tone down the cursing, the screaming, the hitting, the accusations since their last appearance here, it's pretty obvious nothing has changed. So guess what? They're back. This time, Bob claims he is the abused one. In fact, he said he had to defend himself from Dorothy, who recently threw a 10-inch rock and put a gash in his leg and dropped a quart of paint like this on his head from upstairs. And so the drama continues.
After the show, I didn't think it could get worse, but it did. Dorothy's condition is actually getting more and more severe.
I can't trust him anymore. The deceit, the lies are making me crazy.
Dorothy has had a number of violent outbursts at me, throwing fuel cans at me, punching me, slapping me, breaking my guitar. This is my guitar in pieces. Dorothy threw a mug at me. It hit me in the side of the head. I actually almost blacked out from it. I'm an abused man.
I truly believe that Bob is cheating on me. The closer I get to his truth, the more distant he becomes with me.
I have separated myself and moved into the other house that we own. Dorothy calls me 25 times a night.
First voice message. You are a sick sexual addict. You need help. You need to pick.
She decided to erupt in a violent rage one night. She had my cell phone like this. I went to grab it, and she went back like this. And I was arrested on assault charges. Dorothy told the police to hit her in the face.
Well, Bob says along with Dorothy's continued violence, her allegations of cheating have gotten even crazier.
Bob just cannot tell the truth. He really believes his own lies. He's telling me he's not cheating, but I see so much evidence that he is. On occasion, I would see this girl walking up the road, texting, blatantly coming by my rental house, waiting for my husband, obviously. This is the rental home right here. There was plywood up to the center windows. I took that down and left a note on the door. No whores allowed.
Dorothy stalks me. She accused me of having a woman in the house and having sex with her. It's ridiculous.
I bought a recorder that I put in my kitchen.
I heard the first recording that she made. There's no need to listen to recordings that are ridiculous. Dorothy called one of my clients and accused him of having homosexual relations with me. She accused me that I had sex with pigs. Ridiculous. I'm extremely upset. She crosses the line from some fake fairy tale land where there's unicorns and dragons to reality now. It's unbelievable.
Okay, well, I had hoped to see the two of you under different circumstances again.
Yeah.
But, you know, one thing we do here, we do follow-ups, good, bad, indifferent, whatever. Things haven't gotten better with him?
No, I had to become the hero and throw him out of my house.
You threw him out?
I did.
And what triggered that? What'd you throw him out for?
Arguments, no peace. So I asked him to leave.
Actually, that's not true. I left the house because you said I needed to do what I had to do to end the arguing, so I did leave. You didn't throw me out. I left.
Well, I threw you out. More lies. More lies.
You think he's having affairs?
I know he is.
How do you know? Let me tell you how I'm approaching this time, okay? I'm approaching this on the assumption that everything you believe, everything you see, everything you've concluded is true and accurate. I'm going to start with that assumption until it goes a different way. So tell me what you've caught this no-good bastard doing. You were up looking through the windows?
Trying to. They were plywooded up, and I recently took the plywood down.
So you could see in?
Damn straight I did. No whores allowed is what I put on the front door.
And later, have you been volatile since you were here?
He called me a bitch. Well, I picked up a mug and let him know what a bitch really is. I believe that my husband and his so-called lover were in my house having sex.
You know, Bob, I got a swab here. You must have had your my bedroom when I was down to Kim's. Don't you ever show your face out of my property ever again in your life.
I confronted Bob, and he told me I was nuts.
Tell me what you've caught this no-good bastard doing.
Well, my sister and I took my pets to the vet.
Right?
This man assumed we were going out partying. But we came back maybe 30 minutes later and seen this female running across the windows in the rental house. I stopped the car immediately, backtracked, and I heard the little dog bark and her go to the neighbor's driveway directly next to the rental house, hop in her car and drive away.
Okay, so your sister saw this little whore, you call her, run by the windows.
That's right.
Did you see her?
I heard the dog bark. I didn't see her.
But you didn't see her come out of the front door?
No, because I was trying to peer through all the blankets he has nailed up to the windows.
Oh, you were up looking through the windows?
Trying to.
Okay.
He has it barricaded.
Well, we saw the house. It isn't a big house.
No.
So there's only 2 front windows, and they're 5 feet, because you threw candelabras through those once before, right?
Well, they were plywooded up, and I recently took the plywood down.
So you could see in.
I have enough respect not to take men into my home that I'm living in, and I think he should at least approach the same theory. She came out the front door, beat feet to the left to her car, and took off.
How do you know?
Because I heard her dog, and I've seen her walk the dog.
So you know her?
I don't know her personally, but I know of her, and
Okay.
I
So
can
you didn't
identify-
see her come out of the house, but you heard a dog,
And I heard the car pull away.
and then the car pulled away. And so you assume that's a woman that was in his house having sex with him.
I don't know if they were having sex, Dr. Phil.
But she was in there.
Yes.
Okay. True?
No. It's absolutely ridiculous. There was no woman, there's never been a woman in my house, ever. None.
You
Ever?
are a liar.
Other than Samantha, my
You know
daughter.
what, Bob? You need to start telling the truth.
Dorothy, there's never been anybody
Tell the
in the
truth
house.
for the first time
No
in your
less
life,
somebody
sir.
leaving the house.
Tell
Nobody,
the
somebody with a
truth.
dog. The next door neighbors live there full time.
Tell the truth, Bob.
Is this the window you were looking through?
No, I was looking further down where he has all the darkness
Why are those windows taped up?
because they were broken, the glass.
So you've never replaced them?
I tried to get him to
What's the-
replace them, but he doesn't want to replace them because they're a hiding point.
No, there's no point in replacing them because they could get potentially broken again. What's the point?
So you put plywood up.
You are a joke.
So you put plywood up?
Yes.
And you took the plywood down?
You damn
Yes.
straight I did. No whores allowed is what I put on the front door. This man has been torturing me for...
You are out of your mind. You know that?
Okay, now, Dorothy claims that she found Bob's alleged mistress lingerie in a basket. You were gone?
My lingerie, not his mistress's, mine.
She was wearing yours?
Absolutely.
How do you know?
When I got back to my bedroom, and I had key locked my bedroom before I had left. So when I got back, I opened up my my bedroom. Alice followed me right into my room because I stopped and got 2 salads from McDonald's. We were going to cozy up in bed and watch TV.
You and Alice?
Alice is my daughter.
Oh, okay, you're 12-year-old.
Yes.
Okay.
So she followed me into my closet, and I was looking for something slight to wear to bed. And when I dug through my lingerie, I pulled out a piece that was drenched, soaking wet. All you could smell was soap on this lingerie.
How did her lingerie get wet?
I have no idea.
Really, Bob?
The bottom line is I was working all weekend that weekend.
Who, Bob? Who unlocked my bedroom door, Bob?
I don't have a key to that door. Only you have the key to that door, Dorothy.
So who did it?
I don't know. I can't help you. Maybe somebody who has
He's
a key.
a liar, Dr. Phil.
What, did he have a key to the door?
No,
Dr. Phil, he
I
has a
don't.
master key.
Well, you have a key to the lock, and only you. So how'd I get in?
You're not getting in this time.
Am I
You're done.
Magic Man?
Yeah, you know you got a master key.
No, I don't, Dorothy.
Yeah, you do, Bob.
Well, Dorothy is convinced that her husband, Bob, is cheating with a woman that he brought to the U.S. from Russia.
No, Dr. Phil, that's...
No?
No.
You don't?
That's true. 100% true?
It was just a thought, Dr. Phil. Though she didn't speak, I called her.
Okay, Dorothy had a thought that her husband was cheating with a woman that he brought here from Russia. She believes they share a little surprise together. We're going to find out what that is next.
Dorothy's accused me of hiding women in the house. She says she's seen women in the house, and there's never been any. Not once.
You know, I just wish you'd say, Dorothy, it's over. I mean, what could I do? Tie him up and make him stay? I mean, I can deal with the truth. It's the lies that are killing me.
And later, you think your mother is violent and dangerous when she gets agitated?
I think she's crazy.
Tell Dr. Phil how many times you've beaten me.
Now, former guests Bob and Dorothy are still going at it. Now, since their last appearance, Bob has moved out, and Bob says that Dorothy is actually stalking him, correct?
How am I stalking you, sir?
Looking in the windows qualifies, right?
Yeah, when I see a woman run across the window, absolutely.
But you didn't see no woman run across the window. That's
I didn't.
impossible.
My sister did.
Do 25 phone calls in the evening qualify for stalking?
Who's the Russian?
Why don't you answer your phone? Dr. Phil?
Who's the Russian?
Listen to this. My old cell phone number was but the Russian's phone number is almost identical. He called her up after the last show and said, I'm tight on money. I'll have more for you in 2 days. I was trying to get myself on welfare. I hadn't spoken to him for 2 weeks at that point.
Hold on. Let's get the facts straight.
I called her up. She answered the phone. And then she handed the phone to a man, and then they disconnected the phone number.
How did you know her number?
Well, I looked it up in the phone book.
The Russian's in the phone book?
Oh, yeah.
How long has she been here?
I have no idea. Her cell phone was almost identical to mine. He made a mistake and sent me her text.
She looked her phone number up in his cell phone
And then
book.
she disconnected the phone. Now, Dr. Phil, if I called you up and said, stay the hell away from my husband, wouldn't you say, who are you and what the... Are you nuts? Instead of her doing that, she got rid of her phone number, Dr. Phil.
You looked her up in the phone book?
You damn straight I did.
Do they put cell phones in the phone book?
Yes, they did.
Do you know this woman?
I don't know this person. I've never even seen this person, Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, I wish you had to get that lie detector guy on this show. This would all be settled. You'd be out
I don't
for
know
who
this
you are,
person.
pal.
I've never even laid eyes on this
I'm
person.
getting them. If it's going to settle it, I'll get them.
Man.
I will so get them here. Okay.
I am so tired of his lies. They're driving
Listen,
me crazy.
you are entitled to the truth. Seriously, I want you to have truth. Because I'm thinking maybe if you got the truth, that you would then...
Yes.
And that's what you want,
my
right?
life. That's
okay,
it.
because let's talk about this. Have you been volatile since you were here?
Dr. Phil, I picked up a mug. We were eating dinner across from each other one night, and I was about to put food in my mouth, and he called me a bitch. Well, I picked up a mug and let him know what a bitch really is.
He says that you have had a number of violent outbursts since you have been here.
I haven't had that many.
Well...
No, I have not.
On the 12th, did you smash up his vintage guitar?
I did it, but there's a reason behind it.
Okay.
I dropped my daughter off, Alice, to a St. Patrick's Day dance. And I called him up and said, Bob, I don't have a whole lot of gas. In the meanwhile, he's texting me divorce papers, all kinds of nasty texts. I said, can you pick her up after the dance?
Yeah.
You know what, Dr. Phil? He presumed to get drunk. I had to go pick her up. And at 11 o'clock at night, when the dance was over at 9:30, is it time to get Alice yet? Is it time to get Alice yet? Kept sending the same text over and over.
Yeah,
so
Dorothy,
you know what? I got so uptight, Dr. Phil. Instead of going down to the house and causing a scene, I got the next best thing, the guitar. And I went to the garage, and I got my frustrations out.
Now,
that's what I did.
Dr. Phil, okay, let me cover 2 things. Number one,
he was supposed to pick. You were supposed to pick your daughter up instead of drinking.
Dorothy, I wasn't drinking, number one.
You were drinking. I have the text.
Dorothy,
is it time yet? At 11 at night? She's in bed asleep at that time.
Well, Dorothy, I was supposed to pick her up. I texted and texted over and over.
I told you what time to get her.
That was supposed to be my job, to do that. She never
Dr.
got
Phil-
back to me about it.
Dr. Phil,
The
if
guitar
you
she
had
broke.
to hear the text that he sent me that night, make the hair stand on your head.
What'd they say?
Should I cut my wedding ring off? And he kept sending them over and over and over.
It was a multiple choice question, okay?
On a text.
Yeah, text.
Okay,
I said,
good.
which one of these is true? I am a homosexual. I am, whatever it was, I am cutting my wedding ring off. Which one of these is true? And it would be the third one.
And then he was
I mean,
sending
give
me
a break.
pictures of divorce papers.
Okay, hold on. Why did you send this text message?
Because it just felt appropriate.
That's ridiculous. Okay, so you smashed up this
games.
guitar.
That I had since I was 16.
Then 10 days later, you have a fight at the rent house. He leaves and you call the cops and say he's driving DUI.
I sure did.
Yep.
And they
I sure
stopped you?
did.
Oh, yes.
He shouldn't have been drinking and driving, right?
Did they give you a breathalyzer?
Oh, yeah.
And?
I'm fine. I passed.
You
I
passed?
passed the sobriety test.
I can't see how.
Well, I did.
Mustn't have much
Sorry
lungs
to
in your-
disappoint
Okay.
you.
Did you throw a 10-inch rock at him?
I might have.
And that you tried to assault Samantha's boyfriend, Vinny.
I
Okay.
didn't assault anybody because they danced around. I couldn't get to them to assault
Okay.
them.
So they were ducking and weaving?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, people do that when you're attacking them. Right?
Sir, look, I had work to 2:30 that morning.
I understand.
But besides that, Dr. Phil, beyond that, the night in question, after a couple of glasses of wine, I went down there with some choice words from him.
Couple bottles of wine.
Samantha stepped out from behind him and cold-cocked me and broke my nose.
All right, when we come back, we're going to meet Bob and Dorothy's 22-year-old daughter and find out how her mother ended up with a broken nose and in the hospital after she unexpectedly showed up at her daughter's house. We'll talk about that when we come back.
My mom is a psycho. In one of her fits of rage, she's either gonna kill someone or she's gonna burn the house down. She needs to be institutionalized. My mother is dangerous. My mother is crazy. My mother is delusional. One night, my mom was calling my father relentlessly. My father shut off his phone. About an hour later, my mom showed up banging on the door. She ran into the house, screaming at me, answer your phone. My mom is loaded drunk. She's wasted. My mother is violent. She attacked my dad, then she attacked my boyfriend Vinny, and then she tried to attack me. Before she could attack me, I punched her in the face, and I broke her nose. After I punched my mom in the face, she dropped to the ground, and she looked at my father and said, "You I know that you're cheating." The next day, got a full stay-away order. She never came down to the house again. I want my dad to get a divorce, and my sister needs to get away from my mother. It's dangerous.
So pretty.
My biggest fear about my mom is in one of her fits of rage, she's either gonna kill someone or she's gonna burn the house down. My mom is a psycho. She needs to be institutionalized.
You think your mother is violent and dangerous when she gets agitated?
Yes, absolutely. I think she's crazy.
Okay, I'm trying to find somebody here that looks
Why
at
don't you
this.
tell Dr. Phil how many times you've beaten me?
Listen.
No young lady should put her hands to her mother.
We are victims. You're not.
Oh, poor victims.
So
You'll regret hitting me someday, Samantha. You will.
I regretted it immediately after I did it.
Did you?
I did.
That's why I got it, and I'm sorry.
You don't deserve an I'm sorry.
And you didn't regret it.
I regret doing it. You're my mother. I'm not going to apologize for it because you attacked me. You
I did
attacked
not
my
attack-
father.
you stepped
You
out from
attacked my
behind your
boyfriend.
dad
You came
and
down.
struck
You
me.
came down to the house 3 times in one night. I called the cops 3 times. They spoke to you 2 times.
I told you don't come down.
The third
I know.
time,
And you came down anyway.
And I came down anyway. I admit that. But she had no right to step out from behind you and hit me.
This is where you punched your mother?
yeah.
Yeah, it looks
You
like-
know, that's not okay.
No, of course not.
You guys are behaving in a very irrational and irresponsible way. My question for you is this. If everything you're saying is true, why do you not just get away from this man?
I am away from him, Dr. Phil. I don't have a puck or a window to throw it out. I built his tree, and now I don't have anything of my own.
Well, but you're not
I gave him my youth. I worked side by side with this man for years and years.
But if he
now I'm on welfare because you're a scumbag.
You're not on welfare. Who do you think pays your bills?
Ugh, I hate you. I really do, Dr. Phil.
Well, then why do you
no
keep bothering
idea.
me?
And I hate that for me because he's sucking the energy out of me that could be used for something positive.
Let's assume that he is cheating on you. Okay? Let's just assume you're right. Okay? That does not justify the behaviors that you're doing. And what's going to happen here, I've either got to settle this down or you are going to lose custody of your daughter. I am what's called a mandated reporter.
He's trying to drive me crazy is what he's trying to do.
I believe that you believe what you're saying.
My eyes don't deceive me, sir.
I believe that you believe what you're saying. I'm not asking you to say that it's all a lie. I believe that you believe what you're saying. What I'm telling you is that even if you are correct, your behavior is so outrageous.
I didn't react to that.
That it overshadows
I know.
everything that he might be doing.
I know.
You see, because the way you respond in such a volatile way, all the eyes are on you and he gets a free pass.
I know.
So you cannot control your behavior.
I am now, though, Dr. Phil, because I am on medication from my psychiatrist to help me with my impulses. And they're
Xanax doesn't
working.
help with impulse control.
I'm not on Xanax. Get your facts straight. You know nothing about me. Nothing.
Okay. All right.
Well, other than
I'm on impulse control medication, Dr. Phil, and they are working.
Not well.
They are working, Dr.
The
Phil.
dosage.
That wet lingerie, had I not been on that medication, woohoo.
well, but you seem
I
really...
wanted to call the police, but I was just too darn tired.
But what would you call them for?
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody broke into my home.
But you had the key, Dorothy.
Okay, listen to me. Listen
You
to
are
me.
evil.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Okay.
I think differently.
All right, we're going to take a break. When I met Bob and Dorothy's 12-year-old daughter last time, she wished for peace in the family home. Now she says she's angry at her father and she wants her parents to get a divorce. She's backstage in our green room. I want to talk to her next, and then I want to talk to Dorothy. And I'm going to talk to her alone. We'll be right back.
I'm not close to my dad because of the things that he's done to my mom. He gets physical. I'm afraid that he will hurt my mom because he's done it before.
Dorothy is absolutely alienating Alice from me because Alice was never like this before. Today, Alice is a changed person, cold and standoffish to her own father. I might see her exiting the school bus, and I'll say, come on over, let's talk. And she'll just, no, I can't. And she'll just keep on walking. And when I'll call the house, she won't pick up the phone and talk to me. It's terrible. I don't feel good at all about it. I love my daughter.
Well, Bob says his estranged wife, Dorothy, has alienated their 12-year-old daughter, Alice, from him. But Dorothy says Alice does not want to have a relationship with her father because she does not feel safe with him. Now, I spoke to Alice during the family's last appearance, and she told me she did not like her parents fighting. Well, Alice has changed her viewpoint a bit and now says her parents' problems are all her father's fault. Now, to protect her identity, we've altered her voice and will not show her face. Hey, good to see you again.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Well, I'm sorry we're here talking about this. I wish we were talking about something else. What's going on in your view?
Fighting. Yeah.
Yeah. And when that's going on, what do you say to yourself? And what are you thinking? If I could plug in and hear your thoughts when all that's going on, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, what are they arguing about now? And I'm thinking, when are they going to stop arguing?
Do you get upset when they're arguing? Does it bother you?
It bothers me a little bit, but not very much. It's been so frequent that it's kind of just become a part of a daily routine.
Just gotten used to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. You shouldn't have to get used to that. So, if there was one piece of advice that you would like for me to give to your father, what would it be?
Stop calling people liars and hear them out before you say anything.
Okay. And what one thing would you tell me to say to your mother?
To stop arguing and do the same thing. Listen before you speak and make accusations.
And if these two were able to work their differences out and get along, would that be what you wanted? I mean, would that be good?
Well, I mean, if they could work it out, it would be fine, but I honestly don't think that they could work it out.
You don't think that's going to happen?
I don't think so.
You think they're going to wind up getting a divorce?
Yes.
Do you think they should or shouldn't?
Well, I feel like if they're going to keep arguing and being angry at each other, I feel like they should get a divorce.
It's really important for me you know that your dad loves you a lot. He really loves and cares about you. It's really important for me to know that your mother loves you a lot. I mean, she really loves and cares about you. They really do. The one thing they agree on is that you are terrific. I want you to know that all this angst between them hasn't spilled over to you. So please know that, okay? All right, well, I'm going to go back out and talk to him.
All right.
All right, good talking to you again.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
All right.
I had requested divorce papers 2.5 months ago from my attorney because I can't take it anymore. I'm an abused man, for sure, without a doubt.
Why don't you answer your phone with creepy?
I trusted my husband. Well, I've come to realize that he's not the man I thought he was. He's a cheating, manipulative liar.
I'm holding out hope that maybe something can be done, but the situation's looking pretty bleak at this point in time.
Now, I want you to make eye contact with me. Now, tell me what it is you want me to understand.
I want you to understand that my husband is not the man he portrays himself to be. He's a liar, and that he fooled me, and it hurts tremendously. And I feel like he's trying to throw me away like a paper bag. And I worked my butt off for that man, and that hurts. That's what I want you to hear.
Now, what do you want to do?
Well, I wish I had the wherewithal to divorce him, but I don't. I can't see reconciling.
Do you want him to go forward with a divorce?
I guess, yes. I do.
But then you will have been completely thrown away.
Well, you know what, Doctor? I can't live with him. I can't live with a liar. I have more integrity than that. I feel better. You know, there's something inside of me that thinks I'm a great person. And I'm not going to be thrown away like trash. I don't want him anymore. I'm going fishing. I don't want him anymore in my life. There's better men out there for me than him. And not that I need one right away. I need to work on myself. But him, I don't need.
All right. Now, I'm going to tell you some things that I want you to hear. I don't think your husband is blameless in this situation. Sending you an email, okay, here's 3 choices, multiple choice in a text. Come on.
That's minor.
But I get it, but that's antagonistic. That's not helping the situation, okay? You smashing guitars, pulling plywood off, throwing mugs, getting in a fight. Look, that tells me that you've lost your place. don't believe everything you believe is true. I don't believe that he is blameless, but I think you get all wrapped up in your mind and convince yourself of things with very little evidence. And then you pour alcohol on top of it. Bad combination. This is how people get hurt, emotionally and physically. And it's time for you to take your power back, and if that means getting away from this man, because at this point, I don't think there's anything that he can do to convince you that he's okay.
Yeah, it's expired.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then it's time to give yourself permission to move on, if that's where you are, and work on you.
It is.
And I'm going to really need for you to commit to that for your daughter. All right. Next, I'm going to have Bob join us again. Plus, we have family law attorney Areva Martin here. What could happen to both parents if things don't change, and change right now? We'll be right back. You know, we have a very good friend of mine and of the show's here today, family law attorney Areva Martin. She says Bob is not helping the situation for his 12-year-old daughter, Alice, by staying in the marriage, and both parents could have their parental rights terminated for subjecting Alice to domestic violence. And now, this is Areva Martin. Areva, it's good to see you again.
Hi, Dr. Phil.
These two are in real danger of this child being taken away, correct?
Absolutely, Dr. Phil. Not only because of the domestic violence, but one of the things that's been missing throughout this entire show is nobody's talked about what's in the best interest of Alice. And we know that's what the courts are going to be looking at. Can these parents put their obsessions, their hatred, their anger aside and really focus on this 12-year-old? Guess what? The Department of Children's Services, they watch these shows too. So we don't have to call anyone. They see what's happening in the household with this daughter. So you could get a knock on your door from someone saying, we think this child is at risk and we're going to take her away.
I'm trapped in the relationship with her. I'm not the aggressor. I never am. I'm never the aggressor. I'm not a part of it. I don't understand how I can be included in that.
You know what, Dr. Phil? Both of them keep saying it's the other person. All this finger pointing.
I'm telling the truth.
Let me point something out to you. What you just said is, hey, I'm a victim here. I'm being abused by this woman.
Correct.
And I'm trapped in this situation.
Yeah.
That is probably the most self-destructive statement you have made since you have been here. Because the court is not interested in why the child doesn't have protection, only that she doesn't. And what you've just said is, I'm a victim, I'm trapped, I can't fix the situation. You know what they'll say? Fine, step aside, we will. But you have just buried yourself with Child Protective Services.
No, I have not, because I have not done that. Believe me.
All right.
The reality of it is she's the one showing up in the middle of the night. I go to work, I come home, I go to sleep, I get attacked. Where does that fit in?
You have just confessed an inability to protect your daughter.
Oh, no.
And to create a safe environment. You said, I can't do anything. She shows up.
You misread that, because the bottom line is I can easily go. I have 50% custody right now. I could easily go and I can get Alice and just plain leave, because that's probably what I should do.
Well, actually, you can't do that. What you need to do is work out a way for the two of you to co-parent this child in a calm and predictable fashion. And failure to demonstrate the ability to do that is going to inure to your detriment just as it does yours.
Is it that I need to put her in jail, Dr. Phil? Is that where I need to go with this?
Yes, Bob, you do. Yes, you do. Put me in jail.
Or you two can say, you know what? We're done. What matters is our daughter. And calm down, and you better do it right now.
I can't wait to get back.
All right. I want to thank my guest today. A special thanks to family law attorney and child advocate Areva Martin. You too need to hear her. Log on to drphil.com. Share your thoughts on our message board. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter using hashtag Dr. Phil and hashtag accusing wife. Goodbye. Thanks so much.